Hello, 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 everyone. Good evening. Good evening. How's everyone doing this evening? I'm glad to see everyone in here. Let's go see who was number one tonight. Oh, it's Texas Brat. Number one. Good evening, PG and chat. Much love to you, girl. Lisa, number two. Lisa's number two. And let's get Lindsay. Lindy, you're a number three. God bless. Absolutely. He says, hey, Prayer Garden and chat. Much love. Much love back to you, girl. Wait a minute. I might got this wrong. No, there's Lisa. Lisa says, hey, PG and Mod. She's number two. And number three, I was right. Absolutely. Good evening to you, Lisa. How you doing tonight, sweetie? How you doing, Tammy? Cool gamer, how are you? It's nice to see everybody in here tonight. I'm way at the top. Everybody else is down. Oh, that is so beautiful. That is beautiful, Sugar Cookie. God bless. Hello, PGM family. Hope everyone is staying warm. God bless. Oh, trust me. Where I'm at, it is warm. I think I'm going to have a heat stroke. Right? How you doing, Maura? Yeah, it's something going around. Not good. Not good. Wisconsin Mama says where I'm at, knee deep in snow. Yeah, I heard that. Okay. How you doing, Jess? She said, hello, everyone. Please hit that like button, subscribe. Also, ring the bell for the all notifications. Also, live chat reminder to see anyone that chats here. Absolutely. And I'm always sending out a link. If you'd like to take the link and come up, you're always welcome upon panel. Absolutely always welcomed. Tonight, I'm going to go back. We're going to go back in the Summer Wells case. 18 months. 18 months too long, right? Too long. We missed something. I think we were too close, right? Too close to everything that we missed a lot, right? When you're in it, you're not really seeing what people on the outside see, but somewhere in Summer's case, I think everybody missed something. Law enforcement, us, I mean, if something wasn't missed, then Summer's case would have been solved by now. We touched on a lot of things, right? We touched on Donald, Candace, pretty much letting us know where Summer wasn't, leading us to understand they know where she was. They also both agreeably, Candace not so soon as Donald. Donald was like day one, we'll meet her in the resurrection, right? Candace not so much. Candace was not going to give that out. But she did. She did once Dawn went to jail and she was with Benny and, felt more freed up to say her piece, right? Without feeling, Donald's presence over her back and keeping her mouth shut. Even she was out with it, right? So I think we know Summer's no longer with us by the way them two talked. I guess we also know that they're pretty, I'm sure that we and law enforcement are pretty sure the Wells have a damn good idea what went down with Summer. For Donald, he was at work. Remember, he's got 7 alibis. Candace got none. But Candace and Grandis was there. Candace was saying that she put Summer in the house for 2 minutes. She disappeared. I don't believe that shit. I don't believe that shit at all. I'm bringing you up, Wisconsin Mama. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
You want to come over and build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman? Ride our bikes around the hall. Hey. Of course, I'm going to know that song, right?
Yeah, definitely Winter Wonderland here.
Every child loves that movie.
Yeah.
Every kid in the world loves, that particular. I remember taking my kids. I took my kids to see that.
Oh,
absolutely.
Nice.
Frozen.
Yeah. Yep. I never saw it.
You didn't see Frozen?
No, I see Frozen.
It was amazing. It was
4
amazing.
months out of the year, I see Frozen. That's
beautiful show. It was a beautiful show. Yeah. Everything her sister touched would turn to ice, and she was afraid, to touch anyone because she loved them so much. She didn't want to turn them to ice, right?
Oh, okay.
And
sounds like a movie I should go watch.
No, it was amazing. It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
My kids have put me through a few. They put me through a few that I got. If I had a bottle of whiskey, I would have been drinking it in the movie theater, right? They definitely they put me through a couple. I want to tell you, had me. Some of them had me angry.
Yeah. Even worse when you start to fall asleep.
I think it was something something, I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it was this dark movie about this man, and I don't know, it was a cartoon type movie as well. And boy, I'm going to tell you something. I haven't, they even wrote it, they had a book on it as well. And the book ain't so bad. The book ain't so bad. That's why we went and saw the movie when it came out. But anyway, I don't remember what it was, but it sure did piss me off. Right? It had me a little upset. So I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna do that ever again, right?
Right.
Not
You're not
gonna
gonna
do that ever
fool
again.
me once, fool me twice, but not a third time, right?
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, when I go and see a movie like that, I have people think I'm the old lady in the shoe, right?
Right.
I've got
Right.
nieces with me. I've got neighbor kids with me. I got my kids with me. Whom, I mean, we're standing in line and it's like 15 tickets, please, right?
Well, I hope you're taking them to the matinee.
Oh, welcome, Jodisue. You're on screen, hon. Why don't you talk a little? Can we hear you talk, hon? I guess not.
Yeah. So,
Jodisue dropping in, right? Because her name
Yeah.
was in the headlines tonight. What you gonna
Yeah.
talk about me for?
What's it picking on me?
I ain't picking on her.
Picking
But I
on
do
me.
think that we need to go back.
Did you go back and listen to the interview?
The Wells interview?
No. With H and Chris M and Allison?
Oh, I've been listening to everything over. I went back to the Wells interview where they was talking to the news station. I went back. I've heard the Chris M and H and M talk more. Oh, so many times. I don't want to think about how many times I've heard that. But
did you catch a few things in that though? The interview with H and Chris M.
I'm going to tell you what I'm here tonight for.
Okay.
Is Jodisue.
Oh yeah.
Jodisue. The one thing that I took note here's the first video. I'm going to show you guys something.
Okay.
Her husband calls her talking about this dude named Andy or Andrew on the property that's been there for like a week or so, she told me, that keeps stalking the little kids.
Who's that?
Some dude named like Andy or Andrew. I have no idea who it was.
Okay. And why did Don...
Now he knows. H would know Jodisue's son as Books. He wouldn't know him as little Andy, like what Don and Candace and them call him, little Andy. He wouldn't know this. He wouldn't have known that. Because everybody calls Andy Big Andy, and we already know that H knowed Andy. He said he did.
Right.
And so when they're saying Andrew and so forth, he wouldn't know about little Andy, right? Or he would know about Books, but he wouldn't know his name because he only knows him by nickname.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids. I seen 13 messages between her and her I'm gonna say drug dealer because
now actually Dom would because when they went and got new phones, when law enforcement took Candace and Donald's and Grandis's phone, and they were afraid that they might have, figured out a way to tap the phones to listen to conversations and so forth, due to the fact that the feds did come in on the case, right? And since they were a little worried about that, and they went and bought new phones after they got a whole lot of donations and stuff, when they bought the Ray-Ban sunglasses and went to the phone store, got new phones, they didn't buy 2 phones or 3 phones. They bought 4. They absolutely bought 4 phones. Now, that tells me that one of the kids had a phone. I think it was the oldest boy, to be honest with you. Because they got one for Donald, they got one for Candace, they got one for Grandis, and they got an extra. Now, when they got an extra, that tells me that there was an extra already at the house that they're not talking about. That one of the boys had. So, yes, Donald could have called home. He could have talked to one of his sons, which, was there that morning. Could have been, because Candace said when she got home, one of the boys were already up, right? And a couple still sleeping. So we got to take that in consideration as well. That's something that, we didn't pay a whole lot of attention to. We didn't pay a whole lot of attention to where the kids were when Candace got home, right? None of us focused on that. But she said when she got there, there was a couple of them still hadn't even got up yet, right? So that lets us know that there was at least one, if not 2 of the boys already up staring around, and it is very possible that Don could have called, or they could have called Donald, right? And then Donald called Candace.
Well, that could
So
have been. Yeah.
we have no idea. They may have seen Jodisue's son out there lurking around somewhere. Or maybe it is somebody else named Andy. We don't know. But I know the only Andrews or Andys that are around there are, Big Andy, which supposedly was at work, and Jodisue's son. Those are the only ones I know is close by. But we're going to keep going with this.
Is Andy. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to name his name, but.
Alright. Well, that's good. Y'all let's go over there and ask why exactly it is he was selling drugs.
And you just heard H mention,
To the children at 110. Why he was potentially causing little girls over there to be sedated and to be touched with the shit he was selling over there. Go ask. Because I have fucking questions.
Now, you have H. You got H talking about an Andy touching kids, an Andy drug dealer, right? I don't know if I'm allowed to say the drug dealer's name. It's Andy. You have Jodisue clarifying that Andy also was selling stuff, right?
Yeah. So she says, yeah.
To Candace. So now we got 2 witnesses. We've got 2 people that have stabilized the fact that there's people up there touching kids. We got 2 people right there talking about where the drugs are coming from, right? And pretty much what they're being used for. Let's keep moving. Now we got 2.
Not standing in front of him anymore. Yeah. And I found about a few days before all the shit went down. I'm not kidding, dude. And I got the fucking receipts on it. And I'm sure law enforcement does as well. He had known Summer was also being abused, and he hid it from everybody, including me. And he was very much selling drugs to the children at 110.
Jodisue, I don't think he was hiding anything from you. I think you were in the loop the whole time. It's just that all the money was coming in, and as long as it was going out on you and your family, you didn't give a fuck. That's the truth.
And to Candace for those children. Now, what all that was, I don't know. But I do know it was happening. And I very much think it plays a role in what was happening to other little girls over there. And I very much do think that it could be part of why Summer was so...
Now, I do think a lot of things were going on because, one, didn't we hear Donald Wells say that Allie's daughter had a what did she call it? He said that she had a body from hell. A body from hell. Allie's daughter's like, at the time, she would have been around 10, 11 years old. Who says that a child 10, 11 years old has a body? Hon, they don't have no body at all. What the hell are you even looking at it, right? Why are you even looking at it? So that tells me that these people up there obviously were looking at children, right? And in a way that children should not be looked at, for sure.
Sleep is maybe possibly Candace giving her the shit Andy was selling to her. So go ask, because I still have fucking questions. And I think that it was occurring since before the Utah trip. It is part of why Josie was taken to Utah, even though that was kind of a fucking lie, right? Why he went to Utah. But it's Andy's fault. And Candace's. You remember Candace saying Josie was, or Alice, or one of them, talking about how Josie was using, and it was the reason he was taken. It's not the reason Josie was taken out there.
Now, we already heard Jose say what was going on in that house with children and children, right?
But shit occurring around that time is why. He's responsible for it. From before Utah until. So you go ask him why he was selling drugs to those children. And to Candace for the children. Go ask. And ask him what type other than weed.
True.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Tell, you gotta tell Mama Bear what you just told me. About
What?
before 3 o'clock in the morning.
Who called you? Who's harassing you? What?
Not now.
Oh,
When me and Santa lived up on the hill, up in, what was it? Just behind the Rover store. They called us at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and they were on our way to our house. Summer was 3 years old, and I guess Candace had, I think it was meth or something on the table, and she was high up her ass, and she left the room, and Summer got into it, and she called us, and she showed up at our door, and Summer was like, she was shaking and crying.
oh my God.
And I was like, y'all need to take her to the hospital, and she was like, no, we would have got arrested. So there we are, holding a freaking 3-year-old crying because she's scared and high out of her mind.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They never cared about them kids.
That
And
son of a-
CPS.
There you go. Number three. That there definitely was up there. There's definitely up there. And at that time, Summer's 3 years old. She's already, as they said. And then you heard Jodisue say that Candace was feeding one of the kids alcohol out of a sippy cup. Remember that?
I remember that.
So
But yet they didn't report any of that.
they didn't report any of it. And that's the point that I'm getting to now.
Okay.
Is all of these people that you've just listened to, every one of them did not report nothing. Allie and them did not send Child Protective Services to Candace's house until the Jose thing went down. And Allie thought that Candace sent Child Protective Services to her, thought that Candace called them on her. And then she returned the favor, is what she was thinking. But as long as these people were friends, right? As long as they were buddied up, they kept each other's dirty little secrets, right? And also is connecting all of them together. Hunter definitely knew who Andy was. He knew what Andy's role in all of this was as well, right? The dealer. All of these people seem to be working together, if you ask me. They all seem to be up there on that hill, They all seem to be, just letting children do things that children are not old enough and should not be doing, right? I mean, Allie can say, oh, Candace aided and abetted my child in, illegal substance and so forth and so on. But I think Allie knew her son was doing these things long before,
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I think that she knew. I mean, I think that she
Mhm.
didn't have a problem with it, to be honest. And Don's oldest boy was getting into it as well, right?
Yeah.
So it was nothing for these people to think it's okay for children to act like, them, right? To be
Right.
the same drug taking, drug headed. I mean, this is a perfect example of, the wrong environment for children. Absolutely the wrong environment for children. I ain't trying to piss nobody off, but you had a trash bucket bunch of people up there.
That were friends, right?
They were all friends, and to be honest with you, they were acting like it was one big big party out on a college, out on the outside the college on the grass, right? They act like it was, that it was the hippie day free season for all.
Mhm.
Only problem is back then when these people were sitting out on the grass hollering, peace and freedom and all of these good things, going to Woodstock or whatever, these people were old enough to do it. They didn't have a bunch of children, right? I mean, what I'm saying is they're taking Flower Child to a whole new level up there on Ben Hill Road. You have basically the Woodstock atmosphere going on up there, all the drugs and everything else. The only problem is you got a lot of children that they are intermixing with all of this, like they're little adults instead of, little children as they're supposed to be and treated like, right?
Right.
So you got a group of sickos, and as you just heard, they all were in on it. They all knew exactly what was going down up there. And they didn't know it for, a month or two. They knew this. Summer was 3. Summer was 3. She was fine. I mean, they knew it for a couple years, right? They knew this shit for a couple of years. Jodisue, I think, knew longer than that.
And
But
they were
Allie
and
definitely knew as long as she was around, Candace, right?
yep, and they were still friends.
They were best of buds.
Mhm.
And nobody reporting no one in all of this shit, because I do think there was something more sinister going on up there with children than meets the eye. And I figured that when the law had to be called about how much 5-6 times for people to get their kids off that damn hill.
Yeah.
Something ain't right when
Well, so Allie says, right? So Allie
well, Allie
says
was
that she had to
one of
call the
them.
police.
Allie was one of them at the end there when her and Candace, Allie was so mixed up in it that she was so mixed up in it and mixed up in it for so long that she had to call the police because, Candace thought that she really did have some control over Allie's kids and not giving them back to her, right?
Yeah, I
So
think
you got to think what was going on with all of these children, right? And we know for a fact that Jose said they looked through the cracks and they seen the oldest boy doing bad stuff with one of Allie's family members down there, right? Which was a little female. Definitely
So
underage.
another episode where if something is happening and they seen it, even Jose, nothing was done about it. Right?
Exactly. And Jose was keeping his mouth shut about everything as well, right?
Right.
Even he did not call Child Protective Services or anything else, which he comes there with a big old U-Haul and whatever criminal activity they was going to do, he bailed out on it because he thought for sure something was going to go down on the way back, right?
Right.
Or that's at least what it seems like.
Well, I believe that they. I'm just gonna put it out there. I mean, I believe they were hauling up drugs. They were bringing drugs down from New York. That's what I believe what they were doing in the U-Haul. That's
It sounds to me like they might have been picking up, not dropping off.
Well,
You're not
could
going to
have
be
been.
afraid. You're not going to be afraid to drop because now everything's empty and it's safe to go back. Pickup
Well,
is different.
yeah, because they were afraid to park that truck somewhere that night, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
Yeah. PG, I'm gonna step down. I'm just gonna be listening. My husband just got home, so I'll be listening. Okay.
All right.
All right. Love you, hon. Bye bye.
Does nothing.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, when they did CPS checks, how the hell does she pass inspection?
Oh, and then my favorite part today, finding a baby's shoe in the fucking car under the floorboard, so it tells me it wasn't wrong about new kids being around fucking Baltimore either, and possibly fucking his. So there's another kid walking to be fucking abused or killed by another.
Did you hear that? Did you hear another kid? She says another. Meaning like Summer. When she made that statement, she was meaning like Summer. Right? What other kid got killed? Summer. See, these are the things we missed. These are the things that was not called out on. I mean, she's running off the mouth, right? About finding a shoe. She's really upset. And that's what they call, a slip of the lip. When she said another child killed. Well, what child? There you go. And even she knows that Summer's no longer with us. That's her admitting. She knew, right? This is Jodisue admitting. She knows. Right there. That's a mission. People, we didn't catch on to it. That's why I say we got to go back. We're missing a lot. She just admitted. This woman just admitted that she knew Summer was no longer alive any longer as well. Right? Along with the parents. Why these people ain't being, asked to take lie detectors tests, why they're not being prosecuted for what they're saying, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, if I was law enforcement, she would have definitely been pulled in on making that statement. Another child to be abused and killed. That's right. And the only one is Summer. She was talking about Summer. There you go. This is the stuff that we're going, that we're, by going back and coming forward, we're learning. This is what we're picking up on now, right? And these are the things that we need to be keeping a tab on. We need to be keeping a tab on the fact that, we've got three families. We've got Allie's. We got Jodisue's. And we have Don and Candace, right? The parents. 3 families. All of them agreeing Summer's no longer with us. All of them agreeing that there's some sickness going on up there, right? Pedo. And we have them all agreeing that children were being drugged. So, with all of that, and we have all of them agreeing that none of them reported any of this. None of them reported any of it. And why do you not report it? You don't report it because you're doing it, right? Of course, a user don't ever report the dealer. Absolutely not. Unless, the only way they do that is if, they're afraid they owe and going to get offed or something, or, the dealer no longer wants to deal with them because, the type of human they are or something, then they might, do a squeal. Or if they get their ass in trouble, wanting to get their ass out, then they might try to turn on some people and to cut a deal, right, for themselves to get lesser sentencing. You have a lot of reasons why they do that. But, other than that, but still they were in it. Still they was, even if they, like Allie reported later, sure, because she got mad. Like I said, just for reasons. And yeah, then she calls Child Protective Services, right? She still don't mention anything about, the kids up there doing things that they ain't supposed to be doing for their age, like drugs, sex. She don't mention none of that. Right? Because then if Candace is getting asked about that stuff, it might implicate her children as well, and that wouldn't be good. So she didn't mention that, So take note of what wasn't mentioned during all of this as well, right? Got to take note of that.
Motherfucking abuser. But nobody's gonna give a shit until what's my favorite goddamn word this year?
We don't know what your favorite word is this year. Why don't you enlighten us and let us know?
And I was answering some man chat that it got to the point where I wouldn't even trust him around our daughter period because he was closer to our daughter at one point, But then his abuse, the mental, psychological, that shit started taking place. And then he showed his monster self, whereas for years she hadn't known him like that. But that he was acting, it was so fucking bizarre, dude, that I just didn't trust him with the other kids. They wouldn't even get in the fucking car with me and didn't like to. After Summer vanished, there was 1, maybe 2 times they had to be in the car with him. Out of 5 times I can name, I'd ever really let him take them anywhere in the car their whole lives. But, by himself. And, that was to transfer back and forth safely and, all that, and as they were coming and going in the days after, as we put them somewhere to keep them safe and protected, especially as, the helicopters, the noise, all that shit, was driving them crazy and helping further traumatize and PTSD stuff right there. It had gotten to a point where I was afraid because you could tell he was almost in a challenge mode with our son. And with our daughter, man, I keep seeing him look at her fucking weird. And he was picking up on the abuse to the point where I was afraid he would end up hurting her and full on hitting, just beating on her or something, and all sort of shit. And then he was just looking at it. It was just, I don't I ain't trusting any further around her.
I don't know because I don't get into his phone. Man, I'm not 150% of chance of anything doing with this. I don't know. I can't tell you
Okay.
because I don't know. I have a lot of suspicion. Let me sit back and say, I have a problem with Allie, Jose, Jody Sue, Andy, Donnie. I mean, I could list a whole bunch.
Did you take note? She says I can list a whole bunch, but listen to the people she listed.
Not 150% of chance of anything doing with this. I don't know. I can't tell you
Okay.
because I don't know. I have a lot of suspicion. Let me sit back and say, I have a problem with Allie, Jose.
Allie, Jose, as I said, kept their mouth shut. We're up there, right? Up there in the mix of all of this, right? In the mix of all of this drug and other activities going on, right? In the midst of it.
Jody Sue, Andy.
Jodisue, Andy. In the mix of it.
Donnie. I mean, I could list a whole.
Donnie. Right? No, Candace, you just listed. You just listed that group of people, that group of weirdos that were in on it all, right? You just listed the people that, that plainly stated Summer's no longer with us. Donald first, then Andy, right? Then Andy comes out with it. Then Candace comes out with it. Then Allie comes out with it. Allie tried to say she saw Summer's spirit, right? That was a way to tell us that she actually it went Donald first, then Allie, because Allie came out with those girls talking about Summer's spirit, right? Then it was Andy. Andy said supposedly seen Summer's body the last, right? Then it was Jodisue, as you just heard her, right? As you just heard her saying in there another child of the shoe abused and killed, murdered. So okay, and then Candace, because we heard Candace, say that I'm going to worry about my boys. They're still here. Summer always be with me. So all of them have admitted Summer's no longer with us. We missed that. We missed these things. They all admitted about the drugs and so forth. They all admitted, right, that, especially Jodisue, about the sexual stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So you haven't, and this might be why Summer's case is 18 months today. This could be why she's 18 months today. It's because we haven't got, a mom like Leilani that just, I don't know what happened there. But she destroyed little Quentin, threw him in the trash, right? And she absolutely got busted. I think in this case, you got too many players at stake. And I think some of those players, the law don't want to touch. I mean, as we see, Ronnie Lawson don't go after family, right? And we definitely know the Bernards are connected to the Lawsons. We know that. I mean, Andy's mom and Ronnie's went to school together. They're on each other's Facebook, right? They're Facebook friends. So there you go. Right? That's true. They shouldn't get paid unless they solve a case. Same way with police. Same with the court system. Same with the court system. If they don't have it done by a certain time, our court system should have 1 year to prosecute someone, right? They should have 1 year to run them through trial, prosecute them, do what they're going to do, and sentence them up. If that 1 year runs out, that person walks free, right? It should be a timeline on it as well. Oh, definitely. I mean, we certainly heard Hunter there talking about, yes, he did know. We had Hunter there talking about, absolutely, he did know. And we had Grandma. Grandma don't have to say nothing. When she said she went in that trailer and tried to act like she went to sleep through it all, we knew she was implicating that ass right then and there, right? When she supposedly had a big sore knee that so much needed a hospital and a doctor's attention, and a couple of days later, when the news interviewed Candace and Donald, and she done threw her knee brace off, a knee brace that you're supposed to wear at least 4 to 6 weeks, right? Usually 6 to 8 weeks is what it is, but at least 4 to 6, and it's often in 3 or 4 days. She right there. She right there. We didn't have to wonder about her. We knew. She wasn't the right kind of granny, right? I mean, that old hag ain't nobody's grandma. She ain't no grandma at all. She's a fucking just a weirdo, right? She's a weirdo. She's no better than the rest. She's like a fucking hippie ass grandma, right? When them gypsies riding around in a freaking riding around in her RV, living out of it and shit. That's what grandma's doing, That ain't no real grandma. Real grandmas live in a real home. They bake cookies, right? They bake cookies. They read you stories. They rock you in a rocking chair. They ain't out partying with you. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? Grandmas are sweet, kind, nice. Grandma's the one that's got, the kind touch, the heartfelt listening ear, right? The soft voice that tells you, hey, you could think it, you can do it. You could be anything you want in this life, right? That's grandmas. Grandmas are the ones that's always building a child up, not tearing it down. Grandma is definitely alcohol and drug free. I mean, that's a real grandma. Grandma's the one that she's always got that light in her eyes, that smile on her face, and she absolutely loves you. That's grandma. Yeah, I remember Rose Bly. Rose Bly's case I don't believe Rose Bly's case has anything to do with Summer's case. I think the difference between, and Grandis didn't do a good job. I mean, she walked out on her children, right? She walked out on her own children. She didn't even raise them. She'd rather go hobo around somewhere, right, than to stay home and raise her kids. Grandis wasn't willing to sacrifice her time, space, or anything else for no one but herself, right? She was 100% selfish and self-seeking. everything's about her. And her daughter, Candace, same way. Candace is the same way. Candace can't be mad at her mom because she's just as bad. Maybe worse, maybe worse. I think if Grandis would have been raising those kids, even in that trailer of hers, they wouldn't be none missing right now. I mean, that's my personal opinion. If Grandis would have had custody of all those kids, I think, she wouldn't have been the best job in the world, right? But she'd have been better than Don and Candace Wells. That's for sure. Exactly. Grandma should be the child safe place. And that child, grandma's always looking out for everybody. Grandma has time to look. So, yeah, Grandis didn't have anything to do with Rose. Absolutely not, other than being heartbroken that her daughter ended up missing and no longer with us, right? Her daughter hasn't ever been found. But, Grandis is, Grandis pretty much has an idea also what happened to her daughter. It's just the way her daughter went out. It was too hard to really, what I'm saying is, Rose was a whole different ball game because trying to stay and prosecute her case could get you hurt. Could get you hurt. Rose got with some of the wrong people. Absolutely got with the wrong people. My grandma was a crazy little woman. She would knock everyone on the head. She asked you if anybody's home. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I heard that too. I heard that Karen. I absolutely heard that Don Wells' sister married into the sheriff's family. I heard that. And I do believe it's true. I think I did research that, and that was truth. But Jodisue, I just wanted to, bring up how, let's go back. Let's look at some things we missed. And we really dropped the ball on Jodisue and the baby shoe, letting us know that she knew what happened to Summer, right? Then she said she just found out. But that video with the baby shoe was way back, right? And that also tells us she already knew, right? She knew then. She knew then. So to come out and tell us that she just recently found it out, it was bullshit. And I called that early on. She could have cracked the helmet. That is hilarious. But anyway, tonight is 18 months Summer's gone. 18 months. Summer's missing. And I think that's what we're going to start doing is we're going to start going back and we're going to start keeping track of what we missed. And maybe, I'm not sure, but maybe we can bring some of this light to law enforcement's attention, right? We can maybe shed some light to them and maybe they can do something more and start moving forward with Summer's case. Like I said, they were all, if even law enforcement probably didn't realize the omission with Jodisue, or they may not even heard that. But it's worth, it's worth turning over to them. It's worth, letting them know, that it was a mission that she knew. Who else could she have been talking about but Summer? Nobody. And they need to question her on that, right? They need to really start doing some work on Summer's case. And no, you can't get Lawson. They put you to another guy that Lawson has handling Summer's case. Actually, he's not really even handling Summer's case. He makes promises, and he was the one coming out in the big spotlight, right? But behind the scenes, it's all somebody else. Yeah, I took note of that as well. I'm not going to I came in tonight, because it's Summer's 18 months missing. We don't miss that. We don't miss her anniversaries. Every month we make sure we do something for Summer. This time, what we did was bring out some information we missed on her case. This time, maybe it'll get the attention of law enforcement. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But it is worth trying. It is worth trying to get her case moving again. We're going to do that. We're going to do this for a while. We're going to go back to the beginning and we're going to start keeping notes on the things we missed here because they're very important. They're very important. It shows that, it shows there's a group of people in this, not just one or two, but a group. And if we're going to find out what really happened to Summer, we've got to do our own investigating, right? We got to do our own. We've got to look into all of this, just like, with the 13-year-old little girl, or 12-year-old. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep wanting to call her 13, but she's only 12. And, law enforcement wasn't going to do anything with that, right? But you know what? We did. And then law enforcement had to go pick her up, right? They had to go get her. So, let us work together diligently on this. Let us bring it to law enforcement's attention, the connection between these people and what these people all seem to know at the same time where Summer's case was concerned. And ask them if they could start asking some questions. We would surely appreciate it, right? We would surely appreciate it. Let's try to get Summer's case solved. Let's try to work at it. That's what, I'd like to do. Absolutely. If you got any information, if you've listened or you've got any information that you can share, please send it. Please send it you can find me on Facebook. You can email it to to my email. Everything helps. It's time that we get off our backside and we start helping get into this case and see if we can't get it moving forward. We got to try. We've got to try. 18 months is too long. Nature, I appreciate that, hun. I appreciate that super sticker. God bless. God bless. I am so grateful. Lisa, $5. I appreciate that too, sweetheart. Absolutely. Super chat. Much love, PG. Much love to you, girl. Much love to you. I so appreciate the support for this channel. Absolutely. I do. And God knows it goes to support this channel. It absolutely goes to support this channel. So God bless. God bless. Anyway, I'm not going to taint Summer's 18th month being gone with any more of you, Jodisue. I know you got those ears propped up and, you know, like an oversized fucking bunny rabbit, you know, or a big old hound dog flopped back listening. Maybe you're even over there trying to play me on your live for your content. I really don't give a damn. I don't. You just got busted in a lie. You just got busted in a lie. You said that Andy was keeping it away from you. That you knew all of this was going on. And in the same breath, you basically stood there and said, you found a shoe and there's another child to be abused and killed, right? And possibly his own. You were talking about Summer, because that's the only kid that was abused and killed. So you knew that Summer was no longer with us then. And you, all the way down the line, till a couple months ago, you act like, you know, you knew nothing. We just didn't catch on to it when you said it. We didn't catch on to it, but we have now. We have now. That was your admission. You admitted that you knew when you said that statement. You admitted. And it went right over everybody's head. And you were damn glad it did. But you know what? It came back to bite you in the ass. Because that's what evil people like you get. It will always come back to bite you in the ass. Every single time. Nothing goes over the devil's back that don't come under his belly, right? Right, Jodisue? Nothing goes over his back that don't come over his belly, bitch. You know that. Well, it just came under his belly for you. There you go. There you go. You freaking butt nasty. Hope your whole chat hears that. If you're playing me out. I hope they hear that. You're worthless. You were where you could have saved that little girl and you didn't. Actually, you were jealous of her. And I'm not going to taint her 18 months missing with any more you tonight. But I'm coming back tomorrow night to show that as well. I'm coming back tomorrow night to show your fucking jealousy of this baby and how long it was going on. Everybody's going to want to hear and see that as well. I'm bringing it back to you, Jodisue. So make sure you tune those big 2 fucking ears in tomorrow night, okay? Stick those 2 big ears up tomorrow night. Right now, I'm sure you've got your forked tongue sticking out. Probably got some nasty little things to say about PG. Well, you just say whatever you damn well please. Because you know what, bitch? We're going to bring this baby home. And we're going to get justice for this little girl. That's what we're going to do. One way or another. We're going to get it done. You can trust and freaking believe that. You can trust and believe that. This little girl is going to be found. She is going to be found. I'm determined. And a whole hell of a lot of people are determined with me. So, hon, it's going to get done. And you're probably going to find your little brown fork tongue ass possibly in a jail cell there, Jodisue. Along with your little friends. Along with your little friends. You know, I think they should go back and be able to get people for failure to report abuse that they knew about and did not report it. I think that should become a law where you do at least 6 months to a year in jail. If you absolutely had knowledge of any child or old person being abused and you did not report it, your ass should absolutely be put in prison. I so agree with that. We've got to change. We've got to change our laws. We have got to reform. When they say reform, we've got to reform. We've got to reform our law. We've got to let the law take back over when it comes to the criminals. We have got to let the court system take back over when it comes to these criminals. We have got to quit complaining when they're doing their damn jobs and throwing these people where they need to be, out of society. We've just got to quit. I know that, we have our opinions, but when people are doing bad things, you don't want them in your midst. I don't care if they're your family. I don't care if they're your family. If they do it to others, they'll do it to you. Right? If they'll do it to someone, they'll do it to you. It's not like you ain't on their list. People like that don't have a list. They destroy anything and everybody. And we got to quit feeling sorry for criminals. Even if they're in your own, it's got to quit. We just got to work harder. We've got to work harder. We've got to start standing up and standing together. That's what I'm talking about. We got so many missing children. Another little girl, she's on my Facebook, 15 years old. She's a 15-year-old. She's missing right now. She's got great parents. They want her home. She's a really good kid. Really good kid at one time. I don't know why she took off like she did. But I do want to bring her here and get her picture out there and see if we can't help bring this little girl home as well. Tonight, Summer's night. You guys know how I feel about Summer. I don't put nothing. I don't put nothing before Summer but God Almighty, right? God's number one in my life. God's number one, right? And I love my kids with everything I got. My family's number two, I'm sure. But Summer feels like family. So she's right there with my family. And I don't put nothing before Summer. So, like I said, other than God Almighty. So I didn't bring anything else to the table tonight. We'll be back on it, God willing. Tomorrow night we'll be back on everything. But tonight I want to play out a couple of videos for Summer. I'm going to play out her skip to the loo, which everyone loves. You guys always love her skip to the loo. And I'm going to play out a new video that I put together for her as well. tonight. And I'm just going to ask that, everyone please pray for this little girl. Pray for her. Please help. Come together. Come together. We've got to get something done. We've got, 20 million people in this world. 20, and we can't seem to find one missing little child. One little girl missing in a world full of people, and we can't seem to find her. I call BS. I call BS. And also I'm going to bring to the table a little bit about Ali down there in Tennessee, right? I'm going to bring a little bit to the table about them as well. Why are they not helping us find this baby? Why did they refuse our help? Why did Sheriff Ronnie Lawson turn away a ton of people to help search for this baby when he had them all right there in his pocket and could have got so much more done and didn't? Why would he do that? Why would he do that? I don't think he gave a damn. The people walk around in them woods all the time. People walk out in those woods all the time, Mr. Ronnie Lawson, and you know it. We've seen hundreds of videos where they're walking all over those damn woods. And these are the very people that came out wanting to help, and you turned away. You didn't turn them away when the other little girl was missing down there that you needed found and want it found. But you did this to little Summer. Why? Shit ain't adding up where Summer's case is concerned. It ain't adding up at all. I haven't ever seen a case more destroyed than Summer's case. And less talked about. Monkey's case is almost as old as, his case is almost as old as Summer's. And they have kept him in the spotlight up there in Idaho daily. Summer has been put in the dark in Tennessee. You tell me what the hell's going on. Law enforcement won't even come out here and talk to us about Summer. They won't even, and Monkey's case got just as much publicity from YouTubers as Summer's case did. So why are they not coming out and talking about it? Instead, they're just like the whales and the rest of these people with their head in the dirt, trying to hide from it all. Something ain't right. I'm telling you. It's sinister as hell what's going on up there. And we do have a right to know. We absolutely have a right to know. If I have to, I'll call the feds. I'll start questioning them about this case. Right? Do what we have to do. This little girl deserves to be found. And she deserves justice for whatever happened to her. And we heard Dom Wells say she wasn't with us no more early on. We heard definitely 100% heard Allie talking about spirits standing next to her on her porch. She ain't with us anymore. We definitely heard, Andy, right? He's supposed to have seen her dead body and all of these things as well. We definitely heard Jodisue, and we heard Candace. We've heard all of them. All of them. Let us know that this baby is not with us. And they all, every last one of them were leading to something disgusting and sinister that went down where Summer's concerned. That's sick. That's very, very damn sick. It seems like that place down there is a pedo island, if you ask me. right down freaking disgusting. Their law enforcement sucks. You heard the one I talked to over in Sutherland County, and or was it something county? Don't quote me on that. But anyway, you heard him tell me go do his damn job, right? And I could have got pissed off, threw my hands up in the air, right? But I didn't. I said, fine, okay, asshole. That's what we'll do. We'll go do your job. And we did. Right? And we did what they couldn't do. We found her. So there you go. They went and got her. But we, the people, Johnny Public, not Johnny Law, Johnny Public, brought that little girl home. And we can do the same with Summer. We can do the same. Yeah, Ronnie, where is Summer? Where is Summer Wells? Ronnie Lawson, promised us that he wasn't going to let her case run cold, that he was going to solve this case. Yeah, no, I don't think that guy, he couldn't solve the fucking jigsaw puzzle. Right? That's the truth. That's the truth. All right. I'm going to play Summer's first song for everybody. Skip to the loo. I'm not letting this, I'm not going to, I want to get angry tonight. I do. Because I don't know how what Jodisue said flew over my head. I don't know. I like to think myself, sharper than that. But I guess, I can't catch everything, right? I can't hang on and catch what everybody's saying. I mean, I'm sure some things are going to slip past us. I'm just upset that did. I'm upset that it did. I wish that we would have caught that early on instead of now. I mean, it would have been most helpful early on. But hey, God put it here now, right? And let's just hope that law enforcement agrees and listens to us, because she did admit with that statement that Summer was abused and killed, right? She absolutely said it. She said another one to be abused and killed. All right, I'm going to play Summer's video. Yeah, beautiful sunflower. I wish that whoever knows would come forward. You know, that would be a gift, right? A beautiful gift. A beautiful gift. Um, yeah, absolutely, Wendy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I do wish someone would come forward. But most of all, you know, we've got to keep faith. We've got to keep faith that God's going to lead us to her. At some point, we're going to be led to her, right? We're going to know what happened to her. We definitely know what happened to her at some point. We got to keep those prayers going up, and we can't lose faith. You know, when we ask God for something, we got to truly 100% believe that He's going to answer. He's God, right? Through His Son, Jesus Christ. He's going to answer. So please keep praying for Summer. Keep those prayers going up. 18 months is too long. It's too long. Let's pray that we don't get 19 months. Let's pray that we are not sitting here 19 months. That's what I'm praying for. All right, I'm going to play her favorite song, Skip to the Loo, out of here. And I appreciate everyone. I appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. As I said, we're going to definitely, we're going to start. We are going to start going back. We're going to start coming forward. We're going to start digging on the things that we missed. We ain't going to miss nothing else. And Susie, I so appreciate that. I so appreciate it, sweetheart. Summer's Army. We will not stop until she is found. Absolutely. Absolutely. Purple Heart. Much love to Summer. God bless. God bless. We will fight. We will fight to get this done. Absolutely fight to get it done. Flo, I appreciate that, sweetheart. $3 super sticker. God bless. God bless. I'm so grateful. God bless. I'm going to play Skip to the Loo on up out of here. God bless everyone. Pray for one another. Please pray for one another. Pray for all of these missing kids. Pray for these missing children. I know I do. I know I do. I lose a lot of sleep over all of this. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's worth it. We brought a 12-year-old home. Let's keep moving forward and see how many more we can help to bring home, get justice. Let's hope to God and pray that one of them are Summer. That's what I really want. That's what I want. That's all I want for Christmas. Is this little girl to be found. All right. Much love to you guys. God bless you guys. Absolutely always LA.